Okay, so while it's a little bit quiet while they're bringing the jury in, let me bring my guest in for the day. Retired Sergeant of the LAPD, Cheryl Dorsey. Cheryl, how are you?
Doing great.
And of course, Ecklund Mercy, Mercy Law out in Georgia. How are you, Ecklund?
Wonderful, Linda.
Okay.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So let me throw a question quickly out to both of you, starting with Cheryl. Cheryl, you were strong on this as a retired police officer from the beginning, that this homicide was a murder. Tell us why.
Well, listen, because I know police culture and I know how cops think. And when she unholstered her weapon, she formed the intent right then and there. We don't draw our duty weapons unless we're going to use them. And by her own admission, she unholstered, she saw a threat, and she wanted to engage it. She understood when she fired 2 rounds in rapid succession, as we're trained, that those 2 rounds to center mass, the heart, would kill him. That was her intent.
And Ecklund Mercy, I felt that because the angle of the shot, from basically top to bottom, that she had to be past that countertop when she executed both of them. John, how about you?
Yes, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. I feel like she can't tiptoe between being a cop and being a scared person. You can't follow the rules when you're shooting to kill, but then don't follow the rules when you're supposed to wait for backup. So I think they made a perfect decision.
So, Cheryl, the person she was having an affair with, her partner, Martin Rivera, had shot and killed somebody about 10 years earlier, an unarmed person. She had a prior shooting, and she's only been on duty for, now it's in her 5th year, but 4 years when she had this shooting. Did the Dallas PD fail her by maybe covering up or giving her the benefit of the doubt in the prior shooting and putting her back on duty?
Listen, that's what police chiefs do. They circle the wagons, they minimize and mitigate bad behavior, and they coddle and they cover their own. And so now, you know, she's lived to offend again, and it ended in a death.
And that is a true tragedy for all of them if they believe that coddling her and putting her back on the streets was doing her any favor, because this is what happened. Okay, so the judge has this look like, oh my God. Ecklund Mercy, when you are seeing that, obviously there must be social media posts that are very concerning, some of which the judge hasn't addressed right now. Now, why would social media posts that, for instance, would say, let me assume hypothetically, I'm dressed in black for your funeral. Let's assume that's out there. Why would a post like that, why would the prosecution want it? Why would the defense say, no, I don't want it? And why would the judge be like this?
That because it goes to remorse. Does she feel any remorse for what she's done? Regardless of if she thought she was justified or not, somebody lost their lives. And that goes to remorse. That definitely does not help with sentencing. If she's out here talking about funerals and things of that nature, disregard for reckless abandonment for human life, that goes to sentencing.
And Cheryl Dorsey, former LAPD retired sergeant, who has been really our police conscience on this show during this case. When you are making these posts as a police officer, do you know if there's any type of like agency out there, anything within police departments that say, hey, you shouldn't be doing this?
Well, listen, see, that's arrogance and stupidity and cockiness. And so let me tell you what I know about police culture. Amber Guyger testified she was the only female in a quasi-elite unit crime response team. And so with that comes a certain swagger, comes a certain bravado. And while she's the only female, I think she bought into she's really Billy Bad A, and thus that's why she got caught up in the social media stuff, probably what they do off duty. As a female, she's one of the boys now. She's talking mess like they are. You need to know who I am.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, I'm looking at the courtroom and I'm seeing like, it seems like about 75 teams going up to the judge's bench. They're never going to all make it to sidebar, having been there in a group of different teams. Now, Cheryl, let me just go with you on that last thing. She was in this elite unit as the only woman, and then they kind of coddled her. You saw that after both of them, John was being taken out in the parking garage, and EMS is working on him, and she is getting the sound turned off in the microphone. Does that actually intensify the police culture, or should there be somebody independent from the police departments on the scene at that point?
Well, you know, this was right after, and so folks started showing up, and police officers do what they do. All of them are supporting her. All of them believe, you know, that she acted appropriately, even though they know in their heart that she didn't. But they're gonna protect her, and that's what cops do. It's the culture, and unless you're part of it, you don't understand it, right or wrong. That's what cops do.
And why, Cheryl, would she have been in her police uniform? Don't they have lockers at police stations? Why did she go back to the house in police uniform?
Here's what I believe. She admitted under oath that she was a courtesy cop at a prior complex where she lived. I don't think that ended when she went over to Southside Flats. I don't think that leasing office can admit that because of liability, you understand. But why else would she still be in uniform, go over there and confront Botham Jean about smoking marijuana, which was a problem the leasing office had with him earlier in the day. And so they called her as a courtesy cop to come over there and have a conversation.
Yeah, I'm not sure that that's true, but I think that's a good possible explanation that I'm sure the civil suit will get into. Now, Ecklund Mercy, the judge is really obviously concerned about a lot of things going on here. Yesterday, when it's only yesterday, believe it or not, when the judge was dealing with the jury charges, she charged this castle doctrine. My home is my castle, and I can shoot to kill or threaten my castle. That didn't appear to work very well with the jury, did it?
No, it did not. And it shocked me because I think that the judge made a risky but the right call. She gave them everything. So if you did not win this, it was because you weren't supposed to win this. I don't even see a place to budge with regards to appeals. She can't appeal that she wasn't allowed to use the castle doctrine. You can't appeal that you weren't allowed to use a mistake of fact. So you've had all the toys and you still could not eke out a win. I think it was a really good call on the judge because there's no basis for appeal. I think that she did what she had to do.
Let's listen to a little bit of Amber Guyger on the stand last week, trying to save her own skin before this jury. Let's listen to what she's had to say about the shooting. So that was Amber Guyger on the stand. The defense attorneys made a decision to put her on the stand. I'd like to talk to my guests about that. Ecklund Mercy, I thought when she did the I am sorry, that's how this whole case should have gone. She does appear to be really sorry. Now, people who don't like her are going to say she's obviously not, she's, sorry now because she's trying to save her life. But there does appear to be a sorrow there. So why don't they just have her do that the whole time rather than get into that police mode?
Because I don't think it was genuine. I don't think that sorry was genuine. I think that she was sorry that she got caught. I think she was sorry that she had to answer to her crimes. I think it just hit her that she's not going to be protected by the shield of blue that she's had this whole time. She's been on bond. She's been able to see outside and be out in the air and things of that nature. It just hit her that her freedom is on the line because of her actions. I don't believe that she was sorry because the man was murdered. I think she was sorry. She's sorry and she feels bad that she has to go through this. But that's just me.
So, Cheryl, there was a scene here where her own defense attorneys had her hold up what appeared to be her hands and point as if she's firing a weapon. I thought that was a really bad thing for the defense attorneys to do because that's a picture that everyone has in their mind. And instead of, I am sorry, I shot this innocent man. What say you?
Absolutely, that was a terrible thing for them to do because when she did that demonstration, what she showed you is that at 5'3", doing what she was trained to do, which is take a one-arm stance, fire 2 rounds in rapid succession. There's no way that she could have shot a standing 6'1" Botham Jean in a downward trajectory. And so that was not a good look. That was not a smart idea to put her on the stand. She's sorry because she's going to have to be accountable now. We know this to be true because right after she shot him, she wasn't trying to render aid as he bled out. She called another woman's husband and said, come here, I need you.
Well, you know what? That's a terrible, terrible picture that we just saw. We always have to remember here that Botham Jean's innocent life was taken no matter what we think of anyone in this case, that was a young man that we'll never get back. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Stay with us at the Law and Crime Network.